you can see the wave animation is the one we will create at the complete end of this course. The circular animation is the first one we will create. So that's about it. And let's start right now in the next video. All right, so this is the application you should have when you download the code from the course. You will see it's a very basic placeholder application, and we will start working from this one to build all the animation inside this course. First, I just want to give you a quick tour of the code. So you will see inside the library folder, you will have 4 folders. One is the classes. So you will see it's a very simple class. The next one is the code. This is all the code we will need to implement inside this course. And you can see that I have put all the code inside comments. In this way, it's very easy for us to just copy paste instead of wasting a lot of time just writing code. All right, the next one will be the core. Inside the core, we have the constant and we have an enum. That's about it. In the pages, you will see that we have 3 pages: the home page, the order page, and the welcome page. So inside the home page, we will have multiple widgets with animations that we will create. That's why I created a folder for the home page widgets. And I also created a folder for the widgets. This one can be used from any pages. So that's about it for the pages. We have also the main and the to-do. The to-do is what I will use to refer from this course. This is everything I want to show you. All right. So in the next video, what we will start to do is working on the milk widget. It will be this one. So I see you in the next video. Bye. All right. So let's start to work on the first widget, which will be the milk widget. You will see this one is one of the best animation you will create. Let's do this right now. First, you will need to go inside the pages folder. And inside this one, you will have the home page widgets, which you will open. And you will select, double click the milk widget. This is the first file we will need to work on inside this video. We will open 4 files. So first is the milk widget. Then we will go inside the code folder and you will open the milk widget code. In this way, we won't need to code everything. We can just copy paste a couple of things. It will be a lot easier and will save a lot of time. Next, we will go inside the home page. So inside your page folders, you will go inside home page and double click. This is the third one. And finally, we will need the home page code. So we go back inside code and we open the home page code. So now we have our 4 files open. Let's start with the milk widget. You will see that the to-do number 1 is to add the circular animation, which will be the milk animation and is one of the best animation you can create. Let's do this. So first I will delete the to-do. I will go inside my milk widget code and I will copy this one, the gesture detector. You will see there is 2 things to copy, the show Cupertino and the gesture detector. So take all of this and copy this. Copy and go inside the milk widget and paste it. I will explain you what happened. So if we save, it should not work yet because we need to work on the home page also, but whatever. For now, the gesture detector, we need to delete a couple of things. Inside the stack, you will see that we have multiple widgets inside. So what I will do is I will just delete this condition, the if the current milk is equal to 0 and the else, then do something else. We will delete this condition and we will add it at the end of this course. So now if we refresh, nothing will happen yet, but whatever. Let's continue. First, let me explain to you what happened. We have a gesture detector and we have a controller. When we click on the widget, this will trigger the animation forward. When we stop clicking, so we untap up, we release the screen, this will say if the controller status is currently going forward, then use the controller and reverse it. So this will cancel the animation with another animation. After this, inside we have the child, which is a stack. And I will explain you the stack widget after we have created the controller. Okay, we'll come back on this. So for the controller, you will see that if you go on the top of the file, we have the controller sent from another one. So the controller is actually created inside the home page, and we will send the information inside the milk widget. So let's go inside the home page to create the controller. You will see that if I go down, we have right here the to-do, add the milk widget. And this is what we'll do. We will add this milk widget right now. Let's go inside the home page code, and you will see that we have the milk widget. I would just copy this, copy, and go inside the home and replace the to-do like that. Great. Now we can save, and we should have an error. Perfect. This is because we need to initialize the controller. For this, we will go back inside the home page code, and we will copy this information this time. Let's copy this. And just to make sure, I will explain you everything what happened right after. We'll go inside the home page, and inside the init, we will replace this information with the controller. Now, if we restart the application, this is what we have. When we click on this, you see that we have a little animation, and this will count the number of milk that we had. The animation will be better later, but for now, you understand a little bit what the animation is doing. Now, let me explain you what happened behind the scene. So we have the controller, which was already created as a late, okay? This means we need to create it inside the init state later. Otherwise, it will be an empty controller. So we have this one. Then inside the init state, we say controller, our controller is now equal to an animation controller. We use the vsync this, which can be used only because we use the with single ticker provider. Let me show you. If I remove this one, the this will not work. You see that now the this is not working anymore. So we need to put the with single ticker provider state mixin. After this, for the duration, this is the duration of the animation. If we go back, you see that this will take once again to complete. And the reverse duration will be 300 milliseconds. So if we release the press at the end, this will take 300 milliseconds to undo the animation. Great. After this, we need to create a listener to the controller. So we need to listen of what happened to the animation. My example is we start by saying controller.addListener, and we say set state. So we refresh the screen, and we say if the controller is completed. So if the controller is 100% completed, then we will say the controller.reset. So we will reset the controller. You see that when we finish this one, it's reset, and we have another number, 7. If I click, now we have 8. This is because right after we say the coffee.current milk plus 1. So we add 1 to the current milk. Okay, so this was the controller. Now, from this one, what we do is if we scroll down, you will see that we send this controller inside the milk widget. Okay, and this controller is used inside the milk widget. So let's go inside this one. We receive the controller, which we call the animation controller, this one. And if we go down, you will see that we use this controller at 4 different places. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? First, the gesture detector. When we tap on this animation, this means it will trigger the controller.forward, which means this is why the animation go forward for once again. After this, we say if we release the tap, so on tap up, then we'll say if the controller.status is equal to animation.forward. So if it's currently forward, then we will say controller.reverse. And that's why when we release, the animation reverse is starting. Okay? This is because we have this condition. If the animation is forward, then controller.reverse. After this, we use the controller at one last place. And it's inside the circular progress indicator. You see that right now we have a circular progress indicator, which is the one right over this one. And this one have the color black with opacity 0.1. That's why we always see a circular progress indicator, but nothing happened. The next one, though, have the controller.value, which means when we press on the gesture detector and we forward the controller, this will get the value and make it higher and higher until we reach the end of the animation. Okay, you see? So we use this inside the value of the circular progress indicator. This is a circular progress indicator with a value inside. All right, next you need to say the value color, always stop animation color, .white, which means you will have the color white when you click and release. This is what creates the animation of the milk widget. But later inside this course, we will create this milk widget even better. So that's about it for this one, and I see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so the second animation I want to show you is the Cupertino action sheet. This one is pretty cool. So you will go inside the milk widget, and then you will find the to-do number 2 Cupertino action sheet. After this, we will go inside the milk widget code, and we will need to copy this one. So I will go on the top, and I will copy the Show Cupertino model pop-up. Let me show you what happened. So I will remove this, and I will paste the Show Cupertino model pop-up. And let's save. Now, when we go back, you will see that when we click on the X like this will trigger this little animation from the bottom of the application. And you will have the option to remove the milk or cancel. If you click on remove the milk, this will restart the milk animation from start. Okay, so this is what will create this widget. Let me show you how it works. First, you will need to call the Show Cupertino model pop-up. If you don't know, with Flutter, you can use the show and you will have multiple options. You could create a show about dialog, show bottom sheet, show Cupertino dialog. There is multiple widgets that you can create and multiple animation that you can display with Flutter by using the show. Okay, but for this one, we use the Show Cupertino model pop-up. Inside, you will just put the context and the builder. The builder will be a widget, and this widget is the Cupertino action sheet. You see, this is the widget. The title will be text, are you sure? If we go back, you see that this is the title. Then after you have another argument, the actions. And the actions will be all the buttons available. So you will create the buttons by using the Cupertino action sheet action. And the first one will be the child remove milk. And the second one will have the child text cancel. And you can see that we have the remove milk and the cancel. So this was the animation by using the Show Cupertino model pop-up. So that's about it, and I see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so now we will create the first widget inside this page. So you can see that we will replace the placeholder with something, an animation. Let's go inside the code. First, you can remove all the pages. So homepage, widget milk, and everything, you can remove all of them. And we will open the widget coffee size widget. Great. Inside this one, we'll create 3 different animations. And for this, we will need to use the coffee size widget code. This is where all the code is saved. Okay, so inside this one, what we'll do is we'll create these 3 animations. And I just want to tell you that if you go inside the to-do.dart, at the end, we will create the wave animation. And this one is one of the best that you can create. You will see this one is awesome. And I can't wait to show you this one. So let's go back inside this. And now we will need to create the Cupertino context menu, the animated opacity, and the snack bar. So let's go inside the coffee size widget. And you can copy this, the Cupertino context menu. And inside we have all the 3 animations. So I will copy this and go inside the coffee size widget. You can replace actually the 3 to do, and you can delete this because all the 3 animation is inside the code we just copied. And I will explain you how it works. So first we'll remove the placeholder and we will paste what we just copied. If you go on the top, you should see that we have some problems. And let's find why. Maybe it's because we have a constant. And yes, it was. So I will save. And now you see that we have this animation. We go from small, medium, and large coffee. And also when we click on the coffee, you see that we have also this animation. we can replace this for iced coffee, or we can remove the ice. So you see that we have the little ice cube when we select the ice one, okay? And you can also remove from this place. You see that we don't have ice, and now when we click, we have ice. Great. So let me show you how these animations works. And yeah, maybe you haven't seen, but when you click and you select, by example, normal coffee, you will have a little pop-up saying normal coffee. And I will show you how to create this also. You see, iced coffee. Let's do this. First, inside the Cupertino context menu, this is what you need to create, a Cupertino context menu.builder. What is the Cupertino context menu? It's when you click on an image, you see the little pop-up like this with two options. This is the widget Cupertino context menu. And inside you have the actions. The actions will be this. You have two actions right there, the normal coffee and the iced coffee. And you can see that inside the actions, you have the Cupertino context menu actions, and you should have two of them. This is the first one. And you can see that we have the text normal coffee. And this is the second one, Cupertino context menu action with inside the text iced coffee. Okay, so this is how to create the Cupertino context menu animation. After this, inside the action, just after the action, you have the builder. And the builder is what you will have. In this example, the builder is the image with the cup of coffee, like this. So you will go inside the builder. This one will need the context and the animation. Okay? This will return an animated container. And inside the animated container, what happened is every time we change something, by example, the height of the coffee size, this will animate the transition between the two different sizes. For example, when we click on the coffee small or large, you see the little animation of the cup of coffee. This is because we use the animated container. And it's one of the easiest widgets to use to make animation with Flutter. I highly recommend you to note this one because it's the easiest to use and it's very nice inside an application. Okay, so you see that when the coffee size change, this automatically animates the size of the coffee because we use the animated container. All right, inside this one, we have the stack widget inside the child of the animated container. So we have the child, which is a stack, and the first image is the cup image. You see, it's this image, the cup. And after, we will put right after this stack, we will put a positioned widget, which will go at the bottom and the right zero. We'll have an animated opacity, which will have also another animated container with the size. And this one will have the ice.png. In other words, this will be, when you click on iced coffee, the little cube of ice. And you can see that the size of the cube will also change when we change the size of the coffee. And this is because, obviously, we use also an animated container. Great. Another one I want to show you is the animated opacity. This one will animate the opacity of the cube. So let me show you. I will put the large. And unfortunately, this placeholder take all the place. So I will just remove this one just to for explanation purposes. Let's go inside the home page and we have this placeholder. I will remove this one for now. Refresh. Okay, so what I want to show you is the animated opacity. When you click on iced coffee, you see that this one will disappear right away. But when we activate the iced coffee, you see the little animation. So I will do it again. You see, this is an animation for the opacity of the cube. And it's only available when we trigger it. But when we remove it, it disappears right away. Okay? And the reason is, if we go inside this, you will see that I use a visibility widget and I make the iced coffee, the ice disappear right away when we deactivate it. Okay, so this was the animated opacity and the animated container and also the Cupertino context menu, .builder. So that's about it. And I see you on the next video. But just first, I will reactivate this placeholder and save. Great. So that's it for this one. And I see you in the next video. Bye. In this little video, I want to show you how you can create a little snack bar like this to display on the screen. You see that when I click on normal coffee, I have a little snack bar that will disappear after once again. Let me show you this. So you will go back inside the coffee size widget and you will find two different scaffold messenger. You should have one for the normal coffee and one for the iced coffee. But for now, we will just work on the normal coffee because it's the same thing. So what happened is you have the scaffold messenger. So when you click on the normal coffee, this will trigger the onPress function, and then it will trigger the scaffold messenger.ofContext.show snack bar. If you remember, we can use show to do animations with Flutter. And this one is only available when you use the scaffold messenger.ofContext. So what happened is we use this, and then inside we display a snack bar. The snack bar will have a duration of 2 seconds, and then we have the snack bar. By example, the text will be normal coffee, and the icon will be check. So let's go back inside the application. When I click on this and I press on iced coffee or normal coffee, you see that we have the snack bar that appear with the text and the icon check. This is how to create a snack bar inside your Flutter app. You just have to use the scaffold messenger.ofContext.show snack bar. And if you're curious about it, you could create other things like show material banner. I will add a video link inside the description of this video, so you will be able to understand what is the show material banner if you want. It's a video I created on YouTube, so feel free to watch this one. That's about it, and I see you on the next video. Bye. In this video, we will animate two different styles of text. So let's do this right now. We will first delete the coffee size widget. We don't need this anymore. And we'll delete this one also. We'll close them. First, we will go inside the home page, and I want to do something. Inside this one, you should see that right after the milk widget, we have a placeholder. We will not need this anymore, so you can delete this one. And now I will save, and you should see that right after the milk widget, we have the sugar widget. Let's work on this one. Inside the sugar widget, so what we can do is we can close the home page and open the sugar widget.dart. And because we have the code of this one also, we will open the sugar widget code.dart. Okay, so if you go on this one, you can actually replace the to-do 6, the animated default text style, by the widget, this one inside the code. So I will copy this and I will paste it right after, and I will save. Okay, so what happened here is when you click on plus, you want to add some sugar, and when you go at 4 sugar, this will transition between the 3 and 4. You see the difference? It's white and then it's black, but all the animation is done because we use the actual animated default text style widget. And this one is a really cool one. It's not as cool as the last widget I will show you, the wave animation, but it's pretty cool also. So let me show you how it works. First, we have the style. We need a text style. So we will say the color will depend. If the current sugar is bigger than 3, then the color will be black, and otherwise it will be white. Then the font size will have the same logic. If the current sugar is bigger than 3, then it's 60 or 30. And that's why when we go between 3 and 4, the size and the color change. All right? The font weight will be always bold, but you can create also a logic saying if the current sugar is bigger than 3, then put it bold or normal. I think it's just better if we put it bold at both sides. After this, you need to put a duration. The duration will be 300 milliseconds. And then you have the text, which is the current sugar.toString. And this creates the animation between two different text styles. And that's about it for the sugar widget. I see you on the next video. Bye. All right, for this one, we will create a draggable bottom sheet, which is Really cool. Let me show you how it works. First, you will need to go inside this widget, the swipe up widget. And as you know, right now, you can just go inside also the swipe up widget code to copy this, because we don't want to waste a lot of time just writing the code. If you understand how the animation works, this is what I want. So we will go inside the show model bottom sheet, and I will copy all of this until the end. Let's copy this and go inside the swipe up widget, and I will scroll down until I remove the to do 7 bottom sheet animation. Let me show you how it works. So if we restart the application, you will see now that when we swipe up like this, when we click and swipe, this will open the bottom sheet. You can close it with this button, or you can close it by clicking inside the screen. Okay, so this animation, I will show you how it works. If you go back inside the code, you will have something called the show model bottom sheet. If you remember, you can create a show to have multiple animation, but I select the best one in my opinion. So I would say the show model bottom sheet. This one will require the context and the builder. The builder will be a bottom sheet, and which means when you open this, this is the bottom sheet, this entire thing. After this, inside this one, you will need to enable the drag through and the animated controller to the bottom sheet that create animation controller this. Just to make sure that we both understand this part, the this is available only because we use the with ticker provider state mixin. If I remove it, you will see that the this is not available anymore. So I will need to put it back. Okay? Always remember this when you code with Flutter. Next, we have the unclosing. So when we close this actual thing, then we can trigger a function if we want. I don't put any function for now, but it's an option you can put. And the builder will be the actual thing, which means all the information inside the bottom sheet. This is very simple. We just have a column widget with multiple list style. Each list style have the information from our orders. By example, if we add a note, I will say note and I will save, and let's add an iced coffee, and I will swipe up. You see that we have the ice, yes, and we have the note, which is called note. It will work also if you change the size of the coffee by large, okay? After this, for the little, if I swipe up, for this button, I just want to show you how to close the page. It's super simple. You will go on the top and you should find the text, and we use the navigator.ofcontext.pop. So just by using pop, this one will remove the bottom sheet. So this is a really cool animation that you can create with Flutter. So that's about it for this one, and I see you on the next video. Bye. All right, so this first page is currently working pretty fine. You can change the coffee size, you can add a note if you want, and you can change the coffee to iced coffee if you want, add sugar, and click order now. You will see this will bring you a loading page, and then you have the thank you page, which you can return back, okay? You see that the return page, the thank you page, have a placeholder. We will work on this placeholder to create an animation at the end of this course. And we will also add the same animation inside the milk. You will see it will be a wave animation, and it's one of the best that we will create together. After this, you have this little thing, and if you click log out, you will see that this will bring you to the page welcome page. And this should be the first page that we see when we open the application. For now, it was the home page because this page was not functional yet. So let's change this. We will go inside the main.dart and we will replace the to do, and we will change the home page for the welcome page. Now we will start the application, and when you restart, you will see that this is the first page. But there is no way for us to go inside the next page for now. So let's create this. We will replace the placeholder for all the animations. First, you can clear the main.dart, and you will open the welcome page. This one have 4 animations that I want to show and create with you. You can also open the welcome page code. So we save hours of coding. And inside the animated container, this one, we will copy all this one. Okay, we'll copy this. I forgot the comma, but I will add it back. And you can replace the to-do 8 and 9, the animated crossfade and the animated container. So now I will put my comma and save. Okay, so what happened here is we have a widget that when we click sign in, by example, this will create an animation between the sign in and the text field. Okay, you see it's pretty cool. This is because we use the animated crossfade. Right there, we have the animated crossfade. But also we use another widget, which is called the animated container. Okay, this one will say if the keyboard is open, then it will put the background color to white. Otherwise, it will be transparent. But you can see that when I click on email, this doesn't open the keyboard because I use a Mac. For this, you can press Command K, and this will now open your keyboard. On Android, you should not have this problem. So we'll click End. And you see that when I click on email, this opened a page, white page like this. And this is an animation, pretty cool, that use the animated container. If I go back, you will see that the animated container have the decoration, and inside we have the color. The color is set to, is the keyboard open? If yes, then put white, otherwise transparent. That's why we have the white color when we click on this thing. Okay, how do we open the keyboard? We know if the keyboard is open. It's a simple Boolean. If the media query.ofcontext.viewInsets.bottom is bigger than 0, which means the keyboard is open. All right, so this was the animated container. So the animated container is simple to understand. It's just the difference between the white screen like this and when we don't have the keyboard, the transparent view. Next, we need to explain the animated crossfade. This one is a really cool widget. You will see that you have two child inside the animated crossfade. The first child, which is the column with all this information. If we go back, you see that this is the first child, the sign in button and the create an account button. And when we press on sign in, by example, this will trigger the set state and will say that is sign in is equal to true. In this way, it will trigger the second child. And the second child is the text field widget. You can see that when I click on this changed the child for the second one. And now we have the text field. But how do we change from the first to the second child from this animated crossfade? You will see that you have an argument at the end of this widget called the crossfade state. So we will say, is the text field? If we currently see the text field, then show the second widget. Otherwise, show the first. And the duration will be 300 milliseconds. Simple as that. The is text widget, X is text field. If we go up, you will see that when we click on close this button, this will set the text field to false, which means it will display the first widget. Okay, so in simple words, the animated crossfade will animate the transition between two different widgets. And that's why when you click on a button, you see a transition between those two widgets. All right, so this was multiple animation in one video. In the next video, what we will do is we will start working on this animated wave widget. This is the best widget we will create together. So I'm excited for the next video and I see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so it's now time to create one of the best animation that you can make with Flutter. It's a very creative animation that uses the animated builder widget. And it will create a wave widget. It's one of the best ones. And because it will take maybe a lot of time, maybe I will split this video into 3 different videos. So let's start right now. Inside this welcome page, we have 2 to-dos. And you can go inside the welcome page code, and we will just go and copy the code, this name. Okay, so this will use the animated positioned. I will go back inside the welcome page, and I will replace the 2 to-dos with the animated positioned And inside we have the wave widget. Okay, so now if you refresh the application, you will see that we have a big thing and it's pretty ugly. But let's fix this. First, we will remove the placeholder right under. We will remove this one and refresh. So now we only have one placeholder. This will be the animation. And we need to create this one. So what we'll do is we will work with the wave widget. But first, I want to explain you what happened with the animated positioned. So if I go inside the sign in and I click on this, you see that for a little, once again, this thing is moving on the top. Okay, let's take a close look. You see how it go up and it go down. This is because we use the animated positioning. When the keyboard is open, then the top, which is the space between the top and the actual placeholder, will be the size height divided by 10. But if the keyboard is closed, then it will be the size height divided by 5, which means that when we open the keyboard like this, the little placeholder will go up and go down because the size of the top from the placeholder will change. This is a cool animation that you can use with Flutter, but that's not the best one. The best one is with the wave widget. And this is what I will show you inside the next video. See you in the next one. Bye. All right, so inside the wave widget.dart, we will need to work on 4 different things: the logic, the dispose, and also an animated builder, which we need to create, and we need to add the path. If you want, all the code is already inside the wave widget code. You will see that if you open this one, wave widget code, this is everything already set up. So you have the init state done with the logic, the dispose, and you have the animated builder, and you have also the path, which we need to create. But we will do it together. And what we will do is we will create the animation controller. You can see that we have already the late animation controller on the top, which use the ticker provider state mixin. All right. Next, inside the animation controller, you have the vsync this. This is available because we use the ticker provider state mixin, and the duration will be 5,000 milliseconds. After this, we say add a listener and clear the wave points. You will see that the wave points is a list of offsets. This is what will create the wave animation. After this, we need to create multiple double variables. We have the wave speed, the full sphere, normalizer, wave width, and wave height. So this is all the information that we use. You can change them if you want to have a different wave animation. Next, we need to create a for loop logic. This will create a logic calculation, and inside we'll add multiple offsets inside the wave points list. And the last thing you need to do is to say the animation controller.repeat, which will repeat the animation forever. Next, let's work on the dispose. For this one, we'll need 2 of them, the wave points.clear and the animation controller.dispose. When we quit the animation, this will clear all the wave points, and then it will dispose the controller. After this, what I will do is I will replace the to-do add animated builder and the placeholder with the widget available inside the wave widget code. You can see this is the code. So I would just replace the placeholder like this, remove the const, and remove the to-do. What is the animated builder? It allows you to create an animation customized, which means inside the animation argument, you put your animation controller, the one we created with all the points and the wave. We have the builder, which will have a context and then a widget. We won't use the widget, so you can put a little dash. Inside, we will return a clip path, and the clip path will require a clipper widget, which is the clipper widget that we create inside the class clipper widget that extend the custom clipper. We will work on this later to create all the path together. Next, inside this one, you will put the wave list, which will have inside all the wave points. This will be used inside the clipper widget. After this, you have the child with the container. The container will just have the width, the widget.size.width, the height, widget.size.height, and the color, widget.color. All these information are available because we send them through arguments. If we go inside the welcome page, you will see that we have this widget, the wave widget, and we send the arguments, the size, which we get with the media query.offContext.size, the size.height divided by 4. This is the offset, so where we want to have the wave on the y-axis, and the color of the wave, which will be white. Okay, so now we have this information, and we use them inside the container. Next, we need to add the paths. All the paths are available inside the wave widget code. So I will replace this with the for path, the add polygon, which will use the wave list. This is required when we use the clipper widget. So if we go up and we use the clipper widget, we have the wave list and we have all the wave points, which is the list we created at the start, the list of offset that we use also right there inside the for loop. Okay, so this is all the logic. After this, we will need to create a path.line2. This will use the size.width and size.height. Next, we have the line2 again, which starts at 0, and the size height. Then we close the path and we return the path. I know this is a lot of information, but let's restart the application and see what happened. This is what you will see. But now, if you want, you can change, by example, some things. By example, the wave speed. You could say animation controller.value times information. We could put 2000. So let's restart. You see how faster it is? So you can tweak those variables and put it like you prefer. So I will keep it like this. Now, when we click sign in, you will see that we can sign in, and this will bring us to the other page. We need to solve the problem with the milk. We need to add the wave inside this one. And also we need to add the wave inside the thank you page. Oh, the wave is already added because we solved everything. Okay, so we just need to add it inside the milk. Let's do it right now. And that will be the last thing we need to do. So if I go inside the milk widget, and inside the milk, if we go up, we shall find a place where we need to add this thing, wave widget. So if I go inside the milk widget code, we should add this thing. Okay, if you remember, when we start this project, this course, we didn't add these information, this code inside. So I will copy this. I will go back inside the wave widget. I will find the stack. So wave inside the milk widget, where it is, milk widget, and I will find the stack. The stack is right there. And right before the sized box, I will put this, which means if the current milk is equal to 0, then it will show an icon add. So if I start back, we have the icon add, but when we click on it, then it will replace, it will say else. If the milk is bigger than 0, then else it will put the wave widget we created. And now we will have an offset of 60 and the color white. You can change this for red if you want and save. You will see the liquid is now red. But I will keep it white because it just looks better. Let's restart the application. And now you can create an account, and you have all the animations inside your project. And this looks really, really cool. So you can click on order now, and you see we have the thank you page with the wave animation. You can see that if you sign in and you go inside the app, and after you order, you will see that we will have a bug. And the problem is we use an animated position head inside the order page. This was a little mistake. If you go inside the order page, you can go over the animated position head, right click, and refactor, remove this widget. We will not need this widget anymore. So you can also delete the final Boolean keyboard open, and you can restart the application. This will solve the problem. You can click on sign in, and click order now. And once the loading page is done, you will see that you don't have any bug anymore. So that's about it, and I see you on the next video. Bye. All right, so this was everything for this animated course, but I have a little bonus for you. You can see that in this course, we have created multiple creative animation, like this circular animation and this wave animation. You can see that the limit is only your imagination with Flutter. And if you want to learn other animated widgets, I have a link in the description of this video. And you should be able to find this video, which is on YouTube. If you go inside the description, you will find that you have multiple animated widgets. So this video is every widget available. It's a like 3-hour video, but you can just look at all the animated widget. If you want, you can click, by example, at 4 minutes 15, and this will bring you to the good place. And you can learn about the animated builder. If you look at every animated widget, maybe this will bring you some ideas to create super creative animations with Flutter. So my recommendation for you is to use inside your application most often the animated container. This one is one of the easiest to use. Then you can use the animated crossfade. This widget add note is using the animated crossfade. Or you can go even crazier and use widget like this one, the animated circular that we have created, or the wave animation. So thank you very much for watching. I wish you the best luck inside your Flutter project. Thank you again, and bye-bye.